Welcome, our virtual water cooler friends, to the 35th episode of Into the Filmverse. What is Into the Filmverse, you ask? Well, that is a great question. It's a movie fan podcast covering all types of film content, including movie news, new releases, and a variety of past releases. I'm Mytchel Chandler.
And I'm Bryce Payne.
And today, we are discussing the first episode of Loki, various content we watched throughout the week, and some new trailers. Hey, we talk about a lot of movies on the podcast here, and if you want to hear our views for the films we talk about, or even some that we don't bring up, join us on Letterboxd, a social platform for movie reviews. You can find me, Mytchel Chandler, at Mytch Reviews, and Mytch is spelled with M-Y-T-C-H.
And you can find me, Bryce Payne, at Payne Reviews, P-A-Y-N-E Reviews.
Before we dive into our weekly movie watches, we're going to talk about the latest movie news and trailers. So this week, we got some first looks at a few films coming up. First, we got a new look at the Shazam suit. Bryce, I know you weren't a fan of the first Shazam.
I was a fan of what's his name? Yeah, the guy who played Billy Batson.
Yeah.
I thought he did really good. I didn't like Zachary Levi because I was like, he didn't act like a kid. So
that's fair. But let me ask you this: did you like the costume of Shazam?
I mean, it looked pretty accurate to me. I know the new one has I think some scaling on it now.
Yeah, it's slightly different. The chest logo, how it was more centered on his thing, he had more red around it. And this one, it's more up around his neck, and so it's just kind of like the Shazam logo goes up into his neck. Honestly, I don't like it as much as the other one, but it's not a horrible costume, but it's still whatever.
I'm interested in Shazam too. I was kind of hoping Black Adam would come out first, but,
Yeah, honestly, it'll be cool to see The Rock punching people on superhero style.
It's so bad how excited I am to see The Rock beat up a kid. I know
any other situation that would be bad, but not this one.
I'm just like, I know, in the comics, Black Adam's it was like a kid when he got the powers, and then he stayed as Black Adam for ever,
and that
thousands of years. So I'm kind of like, they do what they did in the comics, where they trick him to say Shazam, so that way
that would be cool.
He rapidly ages when he's not as Black Adam.
Oh wow!
And he deteriorates to dust. So I'm like, if they do that, I'm gonna be really sad because I'm like,
no, they better not do that one movie. He better be around for a while, but. We also got looks at...
It's going to be Killmonger all over again, where you introduce the coolest villain.
Yeah,
and then just kill him off.
We didn't know he was going to be cool. So then you have Indiana Jones. We got the first look of Indiana Jones. I don't know if you got a chance to look at this.
I didn't know this. I know we talked about it last week about it's confirmed to start filming. I didn't know they got the first look.
Somebody just posted pictures online of Harrison Ford in his classic Indiana Jones suit.
God, he's so old though.
Bro, it was honestly I love Harrison Ford, but it looked a little sad. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna look at the pictures now because I'm kind of I'm curious.
It just felt like, it's one of those things is when you're pushing, 90? Isn't he 80 something?
I don't know, off the top of my head.
I think Harrison Ford's closer to 80 to 90. And it's just like, how is he going to do what he needs to do?
Indiana Jones 5 is directed by the dude who made Logan.
James Mangold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely should be,
Oh yeah, he looking old in these photos.
Yeah, man, it just looks, but I don't know. Anyways.
It doesn't look as right to me. I'm just like, I don't know why we need an 80-year-old Harrison Ford being Indiana Jones again.
I don't know, but that we got to first look at that. I mean, it's still as exciting that we were seeing these things come along though. And then Superpets, we got announcement trailer for that. It looks cool. I mean, mostly it was just announcing that there was the cast for John Krasinski was in there, Dwayne Johnson.
For what?
Superpets, the crypto.
Oh, I was totally still reading about Indiana Jones for there when you started that, so I was like, wait, John Krasinski's in what?
Yeah, John Krasinski, he's going to be one of the voices in the Superpets.
I don't know how to feel about that because I'm like, I don't want to watch that.
I'm super excited. Oh, Kevin Hart's going to be in it. Keanu Reeves.
You don't watch a lot of animated DC films though.
No, but okay. But this is different.
You're just looking at the cast and being like,
no.
Ooh.
It's the reason I'm saying it's different is because this is being made for movies. Most of the straight to home video stuff is most of DC animated stuff is straight to home video. It's not actually made for theater.
Superpets is going in theaters?
It's made for theater, yeah.
Okay, well then I'm gonna have to fucking watch it. I was like, if it's straight for Blu-ray or whatever,
no,
I'm not
I don't
gonna
care.
buy it.
No, I don't really care about Marvel or DC straight to home animated stuff.
Marvel's is terrible. They don't. They that's why they don't make it anymore. They know it's bad.
I'm not even. I haven't really watched one that I've really liked of the DC ones.
DC.
I watched a few of them too.
I watched 10 of them.
They're not bad.
The Batman ones were pretty good with Damian and stuff, but
that's
was kind of.
I mean, none of them are bad, but they just feel very rudimentary.
Yeah, there was I think the last one I watched was Wonder Woman Bloodlines, and I didn't like that one, so I just haven't bought them since. That was like 3 years ago.
But typically,
2 years ago.
when you're making a film for theaters, like, on a theater level, it's
that's
better
totally
quality.
different. Yeah, I'm like, okay, so on one hand, you got like, they just released Batman Death in the Family, like again, it's like the choose your own kind of thing.
Right.
I don't want to watch that. But this, I'm like, if it's going to theaters, like I'm gonna go check it out in theaters. Like,
and for some reason, I've always just had a soft spot for Crypto. I don't know what it is about him, but I just think it's hilarious that a dog with super powers cracks me up.
We're gonna be the oldest people in that theater.
I have no regrets.
They're gonna be like 6-year-olds. They're like, these weird guys just in here. Like,
so last week we talked about Cruella. We watched Cruella. Talked about it. They announced that Cruella 2 is officially in the works.
Fuck yeah, let's go!
I'm so excited, man. I mean, I really don't think they're gonna go this way, but I just, fingers crossed, hope they don't make her a puppy dog killer.
No, I think they're gonna keep with the anti-hero thing.
Yeah, I think so too. But it's just, I don't know. I'm just super excited. Emma Stone, like, I love her, so I just can't wait to see her again.
My only thing is, like, I wonder where they can go with the character.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because she kind of got everything. She got everything she wanted. So I'm like, well, yeah, fuck it.
Who's gonna be the next thing? I mean, there was the post-credit scene. Did you know there was a post-credit scene? Because I didn't know there was a fucking post-credit scene, and I left after the movie. She delivered.
Oh, I watched that. Yeah,
Jane and I looked it up when the credits started, and I was like, oh, there is no post-credit scene. Let's leave. And it's like mid-credit scene. I was like, that's the same fucking thing.
It is though. Yeah.
Like, if I look up, does Cruella have a post-credit scene, and you say no, then I'm gonna leave. But then it's like the mid-credit scene shows, and I was like, well, hold the fuck up. That's the same thing. Like,
yeah, no,
that's like calling Marvel's mid-credit scene, not post-credits. Like, it's the same thing.
You lie.
So then I had to look it up on YouTube because, like, it's on, Disney Plus, so it's on YouTube.
Oh, right.
And I was like, oh shit, all right.
Yeah, I mean, so super excited about that. I mean, that'll be fun to talk about.
Here's the actual 101 Dalmatians.
Hopefully, yeah. Like, maybe they'll do some cool twist on that.
She's like, I like Dalmatians. I'm taking my dogs back.
Exactly. We got a few new trailers to talk about. I forgot what it's called. I almost don't even care to look it up, but it's like Tammy Faye.
The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and it has Andrew Garfield in it, and the main actress Jessica Chastain. Yeah, that's it.
I don't care about this movie.
Yeah, not me either, dude.
I'm looking at it, and I'm like, ooh, Andrew Garfield, and then like it shows him like aging, and like he's a preacher, and I was like, this just isn't my type of film.
I'm sure this is gonna piss some people off, but it seemed like just like a white people movie.
Like, it's not even that. It's like to me, it felt more like one of those like movies that go to theaters that are made for like God people.
Yeah, white Bible thumpers.
And like, I know that's probably not what it's about, but that's the vibe I get. So I'm like,
straight up,
I don't want to watch it. Like,
now, did we talk about the Tomorrow War last time? I think so. I think we did. That was 2 weeks ago. We probably did at some point. Regardless. And then there's also Ron Gone Wrong.
Okay, so I didn't know this was an animated film, and I saw the first like 5 seconds of the trailer, and I completely turned it off after 5 seconds because I was like, I'm not watching a movie like Jexy or Her. I'm not doing that.
It really did seem like that, though.
And then on Instagram, I was scrolling, and I saw a picture where it's like Zach Galifianakis voices Rod in the new animated film, and I was like, hold the fuck up, that's an animated film? Like, and then I watched the trailer right before we did the podcast with you, and I think it looks cute. I like it.
It does look adorable. I mean, obviously not going to be. It doesn't seem like it's going to be like. I don't know.
It's not going to be life changing, but I just think it'll be a fun little watch in October. Just be like, I'm going to go watch a nice, simple animated film.
Exactly. You always want to like put something to like it looks good, but not every film needs to be like the 100%.
Yeah, no. It's too early in the year for me to start caring about Academy Awards, so I'm just I just want to watch the movies and just be happy.
And
this one looks cute, and I like it. And Zach Galifianakis' voice is Ron, so I'm like, I'm excited.
So we had a Space Jam 2 trailer.
We watched this in 0.25 speed, trying to find background characters.
We're specifically trying to find Harry Potter, but
apparently he's in there, but I can't find pictures of him online, and I can't find him in the trailer. So I'm like, somebody else fucking find him and send us a link.
Yeah, exactly, because I want to see him in there.
I just want to know, because I know it's probably not Daniel Radcliffe. It's just some dude dressed up like Harry Potter, and I just want to know. I want to know.
Me too, honestly. So that is super exciting. Space Jam 2. I mean, it just looks like Space Jam 2. But I'm super excited for that film regardless. But the main event of today's show, we obviously it is our new podcast after a Disney Plus show has released. Do you know what that Disney Plus show is, Bryce?
We watched Loki.
Loki! I'm so excited to talk about Loki. So if you haven't watched Loki yet, what are you doing? Because the second episode comes out tomorrow. If you're listening to this when we release this, so we're gonna talk about the first episode, and in all of its not spoiler glory. So if you haven't watched the first episode yet, then feel free to skip ahead until you don't hear us talking about Loki anymore. So Bryce, let's just start out with your expectations for everything, and then just kind of like how this episode played out for you.
God, okay, so when it started off, I was a little kind of... The first 5 minutes were just like showing Endgame. And I was like, alright, whatever. The minute he took the Tesseract and vanished, I was like, alright, here we go. The show's starting. Let's go. Landed in the desert. I was like, cool. Now, I was thinking that it would teleport him to like a different time or something. But, Space Stone teleports through space. But he just went to the desert. So I was like, alright, whatever. And then the time people showed up. And I was like, alright, we're getting right into it. Cool. Dude, when she hit him with that stick and he was like slow motion falling, I was laughing so hard. I was like, oh, it's going to be a good show.
So in the beginning of that, so my first reaction to that beginning part was, I was like, man, are they really going to like start out super slow? Because like, it started out with the Avengers. I'm like, okay, like we've seen this like 3 times at this point. And then, then he goes to the desert and I'm like, and then, it's with those people, and I'm like, oh, come on, like they're gonna start out so slow. He's gonna like trying to go into this village, and he's trying to become a ruler or something like that. And so I'm like, this is gonna be a little annoying. And then they show up, and I'm like, oh, thank God, it's moving. It's moving. Like it's not gonna be annoying. And then, so I'm like, all right, so the TVA comes in, and then he like pops up, and then he gets hit, right? He gets hit. And I thought it was just doing slow mo, just to do slow mo. I was like, okay, it's funny, but whatever. And then I find out that she's in full speed, and then he's just in slow-mo. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
That's cool. And then they took him in, and he started seeing the TVA, and I was like, all right, it's like an airport. That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like, take your ticket, stay in the line.
So funny.
And I was like, all right, whatever,
Well, I don't know. My dad was laughing his ass off, and I kind of was too, because like it's like real life, Just like he has to deal with he's a god, and he has to deal with everyday life.
Here's what I thought was interesting is you got to think about Tom Hiddleston playing 2012 Loki again.
Yeah, it's weird because you're trying to imagine him play Loki as far as like
what is Loki, where he had all that character development, but you have to think that he lost 8 years or 7 years of character development.
They did a great job, I think, of telling us that as an audience, specifically because he had to go back and watch his own demise and everything that happened with him.
Yeah, because he gets so Owen Wilson plays Mobius, and he's like a timekeeper. He goes through and finds like rogue variants, and he like takes Loki, and he's like, "You're gonna help us? Well, try to get him to help us."
Yeah,
and then so he starts showing Loki like bits of his life that he already seen,
right?
And then like when Loki's like, I choose my own destiny. He's like, "Oh, do you?" And shows him something about like how he caused his mother's death. Yep. Loki's like, "That never happened." And it's like.
It will. It does, and it always will happen.
I'm like, oh shit! Like, imagine seeing your future and everything you will do has already happened. Like, will happen. Nothing you can do to stop it. It's destiny. Like, holy shit!
It is weird to think about, like, because like it brings up destiny and free will, and it just like you have to start thinking about it.
He starts talking about like I choose my own path, and the guy's like, "Do you though? Do you really? Do you though? Because it's already been made for you."
Man, I love Owen Wilson. So, like, I was just for some reason from Owen Wilson in previous films and just knowing like of his like what roles he usually plays, I was not excited to see him in this. And then I was honestly I was expecting like wow.
I was really hoping he was gonna say wow.
I was too, and then he does it, and he actually just plays it very well, and I'm like, you know what? I'm very impressed.
It's one of those things where you see like a comedic actor do a serious role for once, and I know this is Marvel, but it's a serious role for him.
No, it is serious. I mean,
so you're like.
It's like he's not just cracking jokes to crack jokes,
Yeah, it's like Adam Sandler doing Uncut Gems. Like you're just like
yes.
you're like floored. You're like
thank
wait
you.
A minute.
You can do more. I love this.
And then so there's like a part where Loki escapes.
We gonna talk about that scene.
We're gonna get there. We're slowly going through the episode.
I'm so excited for that scene.
Slowly going through the episode. Loki like escapes. You see him teleport through the thing, and people start chasing him down.
Right.
But he's like his main goal is to get the Tesseract, which is confiscated at the beginning of the episode.
Right.
So he goes through and he finds the guy. He's like, "I'm gonna gut you like a fish." The guy's like, "I don't know what a fish is."
What's a fish? So he's like, "What?
What do you don't know what a fish is? I spent my whole life behind a desk."
Yep. Because what people don't remember is these aren't actual people; they're just constructs made by the aliens. What they're called, I guess.
Timekeepers.
Right. Oh, I wish whatever they are. I don't know, but They're sentient. What was Ego called?
Celestials.
Celestial. They're Celestials, I think, maybe, right?
I think that's what they're called.
But learn that you could. Well, a Celestial can kill a Celestial, right? But not.
I don't.
Mortal.
The thing is, the TVA isn't outside
Anyways.
of space and time. It's like its own little like box.
Yeah, exactly. Because you would think it's outside of space and time, but it's not. Because then you more start thinking about it, is like, wait, they're just controlling the timelines, making sure it's okay. So they're not actually time itself. It's weird to think. It's kind of trippy to think about, but they do a great job of explaining it. But anyways,
so Loki goes to the guy who talks to his shit, and he's like, I want the Tesseract. He's like, all right, damn, like I'll give it to you. Don't kill me. So he like reaches in the thing and pulls out the Tesseract, and Loki looks in. And it's just full of Infinity Stones. He's like, where'd you get all these Infinity Stones? What the hell? And he's like, oh yeah, we get those all the time. Some people use them for paperweights.
Yeah, dude. Loki opens a drawer full of like a dozen Infinity Stones just sitting in their drawer like they're nothing.
This is the scene where like I was watching it and I was like, oh shit. like you realize that like these stones are supposed to be all powerful.
Yes.
And then they're just like people are using it for paperweights in this universe.
Honestly, like yeah, I don't know, man. It just blew my mind. It's still blowing my mind thinking about that scene.
Here's the scariest thing that's ever happened in the MCU.
Yes.
And now they're worth nothing compared to what's happening now.
But think about it. I don't know, for some reason, because think about this. We've spent, what was 2008 to 2021?
2012.
12 years?
No, because the first Tesseract showed up.
No, I'm just saying as far as, I'm talking about as far as just like when Marvel started. So 2008. Yeah, 2008 to like 2019. To 2021.
19.
We're not counting the COVID year? No, but this is the amount of time.
2019 is where Endgame was. It's brought home to have to do with the Infinity Stones.
I'm not talking like the time in the Marvel universe, just like time in real life, like how long we've spent. With
we've re-respected the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, exactly. How long we've respected it, and we've curated it, and all this knowledge, and we've
people are like making timelines, like the Aether was here, and now it's here, and it's done this, and
that's been a whole life for like these past I don't know, like why that shocked me so much, but and then they're in a fucking drawer.
Yeah, this one's like it's a rock.
Yeah, dude, like we use this to skip rocks, like.
You're like, these are scary. Like, these guys don't care.
I'm sitting here like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, don't disrespect those like that. And then I'm like, but that just means like they just cranked this up to like 9,000. Like they cranked it up and broke the handle.
Here's what my interesting thing I've seen people say is they're like, so you're telling me that there's just drawers of Infinity Stones just laying around?
Yes.
And Nat and Tony had to die?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But like, I get it because they're not
time.
Yeah, exactly. It's about time, not about exactly because within the operations of those universes, those work and everything. But within they just don't work. They're basically just paperweights. So I'm just like, what?
Owen Wilson like finds Loki because Loki goes back to the thing and sees his death. And like it's like Tom Hiddleston has to get like applauded for this performance because when he's watching his death, you see the pain in his face.
It wasn't even just that; it was that too. And then even when go back to the Infinity Stones when he saw those,
dude, his whole world broke.
You could and you could see it, and I'm like, bro, this dude is a fucking phenomenal actor, Jesus.
And then you know what my wife said? She's like, Loki just had his shit rocked.
He did though
he's like, I got one of the most powerful things in the universe. What the hell?
Honestly, what happened is So think about this though, right? So
Loki's always after power, and then he realizes the thing he was after isn't worth shit compared to the place he's in.
Exactly. But I'm like, if you think about this Loki, what happened to him? He just got his ass handed to him by the Avengers after he was supposed to take over the world, right? So he comes, or then as soon as he comes down out of an elevator after getting pounded by the Hulk, then fucking takes the Tesseract and then gets kidnapped by the TVA, gets his clothes taken off of him. And then put on into some other clothes, is forced to go through like some weird ass trippy shit, and then finds out this whole world is fucking fake.
Dude, the trial though, like where he's like, they're like, well, you mess with time, and he's like,
I didn't though.
Like I didn't do anything. Like you want to mess with time? Go talk to the Avengers because like you can smell the cologne of 2 Tony Starks, and they're like, no, that's supposed to happen. He's like, what? So what? Me grabbing the Tesseract is the off place here?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's funny when Owen Wilson like comes back in. He's like, "So did you try to use it yet?" He's like,
"Oh yeah,
multiple times."
Yeah. You know what this brings me? The whole question after this episode, what brought me like I had a question of Captain America going back and being with Peggy because
See, but the thing is, that was supposed to happen.
No,
and the events
I
of
know.
Agent Carter weren't supposed to happen, which is why some people are saying they saw Peggy Carter in the background of one of the scenes.
Okay, so now I was confused.
Her
I'm like,
timeline wasn't the right timeline.
yeah, I'm like, which time did he go back to? I'm like, I don't know. That's why I was confused. I'm like, okay, so you're saying that you preserve time, so
Wouldn't you go after Cap?
I don't know. See, that's what I thought, but I
But
don't
if they're
know.
like, if Cap goes back and it doesn't
Here's the thing,
disrupt
though.
the flow of time.
Here's the thing, though. When you're working time travel, you kind of have to play fast and loose with the rules.
Oh yeah,
A little bit.
but
right?
I look at it like, as long as Cap doesn't go back and like disrupt the future, right? Disrupt the current events.
Right.
It's
He
fine.
didn't, yeah.
And like, it's just it's interesting to look at in the time, like with the TVA, because like you had a whole movie where it's like time travel heist, and you're looking back and they're like, no, that's supposed to happen. Your shit ain't supposed to happen, but that's supposed to happen.
Right, exactly.
And then
Well,
the big reveal that the big villain of the show is going to be Loki himself.
that is fucking dope. I mean, I'm still interested to see if it actually is or not.
People are theorizing it's going to be a female version of Loki, because on his paperwork it says fluid.
Yeah,
gender,
but,
and
but
I'm-
he is, though. I mean,
But I'd be
you know.
interested to see a female Loki.
Oh, I would be too.
Because there was rumors that someone was cast as a female Loki, all this other shit, but no set photos, nothing to
Right.
confirm it. And then when you see like the TVA going to like the 1800s or whatever,
Well, that could be a reason they didn't show the person's face at the end.
yeah, because like if it's Loki himself, like
Why not show
yeah,
it?
why not? Why not?
That's why I was confused when I saw that. I was like, why are you not showing his face? You just told us it was Loki. That could make
But if
sense.
it's a
that maybe
female
it's
Loki, then it's like boom, whoa, it's a different gender, and it's like all right, I'll be like whatever if it is, because I'm like I already think it is, so like it's not gonna be that big of a reveal for me.
That'd be pretty cool.
But I'm excited to see where the show goes.
You know-
even though most of this episode was just having him like come to terms with the fact that like
You know what
he's
I
not
noticed?
supposed to exist.
Oh, exactly. Not even that, but and then it just he like changed like and he changed his character completely.
Dude,
because
it's crazy because like what like we were talking about with like 8 years of character development in one episode.
They did
Like-
exactly like this is the best episode of character development Marvel has ever done.
It took 3 movies to get Tony Stark to where his
Yeah.
character development. It took 3 movies to get Captain America's character development. 3 movies to get Thor. Well, 1.5 because the first Thor movie doesn't really have anything. The second Thor movie doesn't exist.
Yeah,
And
right,
the
all right,
third
all right.
movie is where all the development is.
But seriously, and then like you said, Loki, fucking 30 minutes,
Loki had
40 minutes,
8 years of character development, and then he died.
right?
And now then all of a sudden in one episode they make his character completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this isn't the Loki we know. This is a different Loki.
Without making it feel weird or bad. Like
yeah,
without-
like he doesn't have the emotional connection to Thor. He doesn't have like any of the development he had. This is the Loki from 2012 with a different view.
yeah.
So I'm like, everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's the Loki from that we know and love, and it's like, but it's not. It's a new
It is, but it's
version
not.
of
Exactly,
Loki.
yeah.
And I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
and you know the thing. This is the whole thing about Marvel. That's also the bad thing about Marvel. It's a fake death universe because he died at Endgame for a whole reason, and it was powerful, and yet he's back again. And the bad
That's
thing,
my man.
he's
There's
back. It's just like that, you know?
There's this series on YouTube. It's
Mhm.
a guy by the name Holden, and he does a series called My Friend Watches.
Right,
And he had a series where he had his friend watch the MCU.
right.
And every single time Loki died, he was like, nah, he'll come back. They always come back. And all I'm sitting there thinking is like, well, you're right. So,
And that's my whole argument of
and
why
when he,
Iron
and
Man.
when, and when he
will be
watched
back.
Endgame, he was like, well, Black she's going to come back. Tony Stark's going to come back. None of this means anything. And all I think about is like, well, I mean, you're right, but you're wrong. Like, Black Widow's getting a movie. You're right, but I don't think she's going to come back from the dead
Not
anytime soon.
yet. No, not anytime soon. No, but I bet you will happen at some point. Iron Man will come back. Captain America will come back.
It just might not be the versions we know.
no, of course.
Because
It might- it
I'm
might be,
like, Robert Downey
specific-
Jr. going to need money at one point.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
going to come back.
No, I mean
Although-
you wouldn't just bring back like the exact same character if you had no stories to tell. But
I did find out something about Robert Downey Jr.'s contract with Marvel.
Huh.
He gets like 7% of every MCU movie's box office gross.
no matter what if he's in it or not.
Mm-hmm. Because
What?
they couldn't pay him the full amount he requested for Iron Man 1.
Oh my god.
So he signed a contract saying that like for every movie in the universe, he gets like 7% of the box office.
You make him bank, bro.
So like Captain Marvel, he made money on that.
Oh, you know what's funny? Speaking of, I mean, we'll try not to go off on a Marvel tangent real quick here, but my dad said that, I don't know where he got this news from, so it's my dad, but he said that Captain Marvel was going to be taking over for Iron Man as the leader of the Avengers.
She does in the comics.
And I'm like, where are you getting that information? But yeah, we're talking about the movies.
Here's my thing though. It's like Captain Marvel was built up as to be like this all powerful
And
thing, and then it's like even in like Endgame, Black Widow was in charge of the Avengers, not Captain
Right.
Marvel.
Right, exactly.
Like,
And his whole explanation behind it, or why he thought that, was one because she has a new movie coming out,
that doesn't mean shit.
which I'm like, Dad, it's called
Thor has
it's
a
called
new movie coming out too. Like,
it's called Marvels. It's called The Marvels with Miss Marvel. She got demoted. Like Captain Marvel got her own film, and then she got demoted to having a film with 2 Marvels in it. First of all, and then second of all, then his second point was that Brie Larson signed on for 6 films. I'm like, Dad, literally all fucking actors signed in.
Yeah. You signed multiple film
deals.
contracts.
Exactly. So he's like, well, no, they don't. I'm like, oh, yeah, they do, Dad.
Like even Chris Evans signed like I think like an 8 film contract, and
Yeah.
one of those films was kind of for Thor: The Dark World for a cameo.
That was why, right? Exactly, and that's why. Or yeah, they'll have you have 3 solo films and 3 appearances in films, and that's why.
Tom Holland gets a new contract every fucking 2 years.
Yeah, but that's a little more with Sony and everything. But still, you're right though. But Joaquin Phoenix, that's why he wasn't Doctor Strange. It's because he would not sign the multiple film deal. It was between him and Benedict Cumberbatch.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't have liked Joaquin Phoenix and Doctor Strange. It wouldn't seem right.
No, see, but back then when you're thinking about it, it sounds fucking awesome. But then
Every time I think of Joaquin Phoenix now, all I think about is Joker. So
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
I don't think he would have worked for Doctor Strange, but
I think he would have been awesome because but then again,
Benedict Cumberbatch is just blown out of the water as Doctor Strange.
exactly. But that's the thing though, is like you see, like every time I see like, what's your favorite actor? He's not your favorite actor, but that you talk about him a lot for some reason. Like a white kid, curly hair.
The white kid.
Yeah, white kid, curly hair, kind of looks like Tom Holland. It's
Timothy Chalamet.
That's it. Yeah, it was between Timothy Chalamet.
I was thinking of like Shaun of the Dead, and I was like, I like Simon Pegg a lot, but I want to say he's my favorite actor. Like,
I just associate Timothy Chalamet with you for some reason.
it's because I've seen a lot of Timothy Chalamet movies, and like every time I watch one, I'm like, he did really good.
You do say that, and I'm like, I don't think I like him that much, but
Dude, it's just weird. It's like I watched The King, and I was like,
you do say that.
Timothy Chalamet did really good, except for the fucking haircut, which looked dumb as shit because he had a bowl cut and didn't look good.
But Timothy Chalamet and Asa Butterfield were almost Spider-Man. It was between them 3: Tom Holland, Asa Butterfield, and Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet might work as Spider-Man in a DC universe.
Did you hear me throw up a little bit there? God.
Dark and broody.
Oh.
He's got the long black hair, like sitting on the edge of this building, looking down at the city like Daredevil.
Anyway,
Ben Affleck's Daredevil at that, not even like the good Daredevil.
I think we
shit!
finish wrapping up on Loki. Oh, let's see something else.
We'll get to it afterwards because it was like a rumor, and I'm like,
Okay.
if it's true, holy fucking shit!
Well, I'm excited to talk about that, but just finish talking about Loki real quick. So I mean, obviously the episode ends finding out that he's trying to find himself, and they're going to help him. And a lot of character progression. Super good episode. I'm super excited to see this. I would say this has been my favorite episode of the new Marvel television, but not as good as Sam becoming Cap. Something about that just felt really special to me. But.
That's fair. I mean, I would say that this, with the ending of WandaVision being like top tier shit for me.
Yeah.
Because like I was invested. I was like, let's go. A little disappointed in some aspects, like boner. But
I hate those.
Captain America or Falcon and Winter Soldier. Well, Captain America, Captain America and Winter Soldier. That's what I was gonna say, and I was like, well, technically titled was Captain America.
Honestly, I keep doing that. I'm like, I'll say Captain America and Winter Soldier. I mean, well, I mean Falcon and Winter Soldier, but he's really Captain America. So Captain America.
I felt like the ending was kind of a letdown for me because it was just like half an hour of just tying up loose ends, and I was just like, this should have all been brought out over the last 6 episodes, not just rushed in the final episode. And
my favorite part,
that kind of like killed it for me. Seeing like Sam become Captain America, amazing. Seeing Isaiah Bradley's story, amazing. Even like Bucky stuff, where it's like he's becoming friends with Sam because like they always had that feud, amazing.
Right.
But just tying up all the loose ends, I was like, I don't like you're rushing it. Like I don't like that. Like you should have had like another 2 episodes or something. Like I felt like they should have had like more episodes like WandaVision.
I think one more episode could have let that like play a little better.
I think 2 would have been perfect because then you could have like one episode focusing on them getting rid of the I can't even think of their names. The bad people team.
The helping hand helpers, the
Flag Smashers.
Flag Smashers.
Like one episode stopping them, you could have an episode with them fighting, dickhead, fake Captain America,
Ugh.
John Walker,
U.S. agent.
But like they shouldn't have just mushed it all in one episode. I'm like, that's too much. Too much.
I agree. But
I was still happy with it. But Loki, I have no expectations for it because I'm like, first off, WandaVision, I kind of knew where it was going. We had a feeling. We can't,
there was a lot of speculation with that one though. It was weird.
It was the first Marvel show, so I understood that. Like we didn't exactly know how they were going to do their shows.
Right.
Falcon Winter Soldier, I was like, by the end of the movie or the end of the show, he's going to become Captain America. But Loki, I have no precedent because they're in uncharted territory.
They are.
There's nothing we can look at and be like, well, in the MCU, we know this is going to happen. This is like anything.
This is
happen.
Brand new stuff.
They could go anywhere, any time period. Any stream, meet any version of any character. Literally anything. They can go to one timeline where Captain America is fucking Iron Man. They can do anything.
This is like, that's pretty cool. And it really is. This is like, what am I trying to say? Yeah, this is isn't this besides Captain America, which is very like a soul-centered story, this is a backup on a superhero scale with the character development still in place, but
it's not like my favorite thing about this is like you get
this
WandaVision.
Feels Avenger level. Makes sense.
But like you get like WandaVision, you get Falcon Winter Soldier, set firmly in the MCU timeline.
Right.
Loki's not. Loki's there, but it's like it's the branch. He's like
you're right.
His own
it's something
thing.
different. Than,
so it's like
it's not actually
watching this show shouldn't affect the main timeline.
This is not going to happen. This is not going to happen, right? And I know this, but it would be so damn cool if it did. You know how they're doing things in DC right now with like Robert Pattinson, and it's different. It's a different universe. They're doing things like with Batman and
they realize their shared universe is failing, so they're branching out to the solo films again.
And they might, they have the merger coming up, so maybe they'll get shit back on track in a while. However, they do realize that there is potential. You can tell two Batmans. You can tell two stories at once. You could have two Batmans at once. You could have a Batman movie and an Justice League, whatever, right?
Yeah. I don't think.
I know, but I'm just saying, what if, right?
Because that's like with the Fox stuff, where you had like here's an X-Men film and an Avengers film coming out at the same time period.
Right, but I'm just like, what if Loki came out there and like split off? So, probably not gonna do that way, but Loki split off so that way a separate universe. So that way they could tell these. They're saying that there's these alternate timelines where this happens.
It's a what if series.
No, I know, but I'm saying like.
I get what you're saying, like standalone films, like a different version of Iron Man, or
they're finding their own way so that they can do standalone films. It's just me wishful thinking because that would just open up storytelling so much,
I just think I'm just excited where the show's going because I don't know where it's going.
Yeah, I know, I agree. So that was Loki episode 1, a lot of fun. Super excited for the next episode, which we'll be talking about next week.
Are you ready for this rumor I heard?
All right. What's the rumor you wanted to hear?
Okay. First off, the rumors about Charlie Cox coming with Daredevil.
I heard that there is some rumors out there.
Rumors he's going to be in Spider-Man. There's now a rumor that John Bernthal could show up in Moon Knight.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And fight Moon Knight. And I want to see the Punisher fight Moon Knight. I'm excited. If it doesn't happen, I'm just like, I want it to happen.
That would be super cool if they showed up. I doubt it. I just think they're done.
I doubt it, but I wanted to.
Yeah, I think they're done with the Netflix stuff, honestly. But
I could see them getting their popular characters, like Daredevil, obviously,
right?
Punisher, obviously. I don't see them touching Luke Cage, Iron Fist. There's like a possibility for Jessica Jones, but not a high one. All
right. Well, give me a percent. I would say it's over or under. I'll give you a max 10%. I would take under 10%, but still, like over.
I would say that I want to give it like a 40-60 shot of Daredevil showing up in Spider-Man.
You really think it's that high?
I think it'd go either or. Because I think they know the fan service they would get and the amount of hype they could get if they do it. But I don't see them doing it. So I'm like giving it that.
I don't know, man.
The Punisher, I'm like more like a 20-80.
The reason I don't, and the only reason I just feel like, okay, so I feel like Daredevil and Punisher operated on a different level
of the MCU.
Yeah, they operated more of a
shit.
Not even that. It's just they operated like they weren't as, I guess, good probably as how do I explain this? Not a good. I'm not good in like a sense of like enjoyment value, but as far as just like with the sheen of the MCU, if you know what I'm saying.
I would.
It wasn't made by Kevin Feige.
Yeah, I would just say that like Daredevil and Punisher are like my 2 favorite Marvel shows.
Okay, that's fair.
Because like they did a lot with those. But
it's
seeing
like,
the characters come back in any capacity, I'm down. Even if it's not even the versions from the Netflix, that's just the actors playing the same characters, but not the characters we knew.
That's fair.
Like that's perfect casting. That was perfect.
Would
casting.
I want them to? Sure, yeah. I think that would be pretty dope. What do I think they will? Probably not. I wouldn't put.
I'm not gonna. I wouldn't bet on it. I'm just like I'm hoping. I have high hopes.
Like
not even like too high because I'm like I want it to, but I'm not expecting it to. Like the Punisher, I'm like I really don't expect it to, but I think it would be dope if he showed up.
I'd be beyond thrilled if they did. I'll tell you that right now.
I thought there was like, I think the Russo brothers said that like the Punisher was in Winter Soldier. At one point, I forget.
Weird.
Like it was like a scene where they were like, "Oh yeah, that's the Punisher," but I don't know if they were telling the truth or they were just like, "Oh, look at us, we're funny."
Weird. Yeah, I mean that is the reason why they sound like it.
I know that's my problem. I'm like, unless Kevin Feige says it, it's not set in stone.
Yeah.
Unless he confirms it, it's not set in stone. Like,
literally, yeah.
Like he confirmed, like Tom Holland was the boy in Iron Man 2. Whatever, you know, that's a minuscule detail.
It's, like,
you know, it's cool. That's him, but it's not really. But the Punisher, like if they confirm the Punisher was in Iron Man or Captain America: Winter Soldier, that would blow the Netflix shit. Like it wouldn't connect. It wouldn't make sense. People would be having issues.
I agree.
And that's my only thing that kind of makes me take a grain of salt because I'm like, there's shit that happens in those shows that don't make sense.
Exactly.
in the MCU, like
so. Yeah, that definitely makes sense, and I mean, I'll be excited to see if that happens.
I just want it to happen. I just don't expect it to happen. I'm like,
fair,
please, but also I get it. Like,
please, but yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense, and hopefully we'll see some cool nerdy stuff in this film.
I'm actually completely considering rewatching Punisher because I love that show.
It is a good show. You know, it's just I feel I get guilty rewatching stuff right nowadays because like I feel like I should be watching something that's like new to me. You know,
I got 40 minutes in The Incredible Hulk before I turned it off.
I was like, why are you watching that, bro? That's not good. Like, I don't like it.
I like watched it to the point where he met Betty again on the bridge, and then like I turned it off because I was like, I don't care. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, I have an hour and 20 minutes left to go, and I just don't care.
Well, with that down, we're gonna venture on to some more weekly movie watches. Speaking of like the Hulk that you watched this week, I didn't
log that, so I'm not counting.
Oh no, of course
I
not.
was like,
no, I mean,
I don't care.
You didn't watch. Well, yeah, exactly.
I was more or less testing my new sound system.
Oh yeah, was it nice? The sound system?
Yes, I love it.
Good.
Yeah, I love hearing the shit on my back speakers now.
So I watched The Hitman's Bodyguard. We have the new one coming up this weekend, The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. I just rewatched it because I wanted to be fresh in my head for watching it.
I've seen that movie like 7 times. It's one of my
You've seen this movie 7 times?
It's one of my dad's favorite movies.
Oh, it's not that good, bro. Not that good.
He laughs his ass off every time I watch. I mean, there's like
sorry.
There's definitely
I guess I get it
scenes where I'm like I like it because it's funny. But I'm also
knowing your dad,
there's only
I guess I get
so many times I can watch a movie before I'm like, all right, I get it. He says fuck a lot. Awesome, cool. It's funny.
No, I mean exactly.
But the fight scene, specifically the one.
Are you talking about the ending one?
With the scene where Ryan Reynolds
he's
like sitting there, he's like, give me the gun. And the guy's like, no. He's like, give me the gun. And I'm like, this is funny. I like this.
No, that definitely was good.
He like hits it with a frying pan and he throws it at him. I'm like, I like this. Like,
no, that was actually a really good. A really good fight scene. I mean, the action in this is pretty good. Honestly, the CGI is rough in a lot of spots. Like they were like, look, how far can we push this without like giving us all the budget?
Oh shit, I do actually have a lot of movies to talk about.
Okay, yeah, no, we'll get to those.
I'm just like looking at my list. I'm like, oh fuck.
Exactly. But otherwise, I feel like it was very.
Oh, my mic's doing that.
It's like hi. No, I mean, otherwise it was very I don't know, same. Fuck, what am I saying?
I think it's a fun one-time watch, but after you watch it multiple times, you're just like, I get it.
Yeah. No, I mean, Hitman's Bodyguard. Obviously, it's just about Ryan Reynolds and Sam Jackson. Ryan Reynolds has to protect Sam Jackson because he's a witness to a really fucked up dude. That's honestly, that was like, okay, I don't like you, bro. You're literally.
Pretty sure that guy. God, who plays that dude?
I forgot. He looks almost similar.
I want to say Gary Oldman. I think it's Gary Oldman.
I could see that. I think I could see that. Yeah.
I feel like it's Gary Oldman. I can't swear to it right now, but I feel like it's Gary Oldman.
I want to say you're right. But
now I'm gonna look it up because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm correct.
Yeah, that definitely look that would be cool. I don't know. I just felt like he was a very stereotypical villain. I don't know. It just felt all of it felt very like
It's very predictable.
very predictable, stereotypical.
It is Gary Oldman. I know my shit.
Mr. Sirius Black. That's Sirius Black, right?
Mank.
Oh, that guy, right? Mank,
I mean, you're right. He is Sirius Black.
Oh, I was right. Okay, yeah. See, I was right too. I know my nerd shit. Anyways, I know my move. Anyways, I'm trying to compare this to the next film, and I'm saying that it was my whole point of bringing this movie up. A, because it's coming out this weekend, but B, I wanted to say that I liked it better than when I originally watched it. That's what I was trying to say.
My issue with the second one is I'm like, I really don't care about his wife.
Salma Hayek.
I get it. God damn. Can we pause
Yeah.
it?
So, and then I also watched a film that I talked about a while ago. It really didn't look that good, but it was Vampires versus the Bronx.
I saw you reviewed this, and I was like, weird, but all right.
I was straight up not going to send it to you. I was going to wait for you to ask me about it. So.
I literally saw it on Letterboxd, and I checked, and I was like, I don't know why. I'm not even going to ask. Like, I think I told Jada specifically, I was like, what the fuck is Vampires versus the Bronx?
You know, for some reason I thought I had talked to you about it, but I don't think I did. I think
I was like, that's weird. All right. Okay, Mytchel.
I was just watching trailers, and this one came out with Vampires versus the Bronx, and it's literally just like a kind of like, you know, the Bronx, like in New York, and like there's a community of people, and like this kid finds these vampires and like come through, and this kid's like, "There's vampires in the Bronx," and everybody's like, "No, there's fucking not, you weirdos! There's vampires." And he's just like, "No, I promise you, there's vampires." And like, "Man, no, there's not. You stop being a weirdo." Like. And he's like, "There's vampires," and then they're like, "No, there's not." And then like, I think he proves that they're vampires, and like, "Oh shit, there's vampires!" And then they like, "Oh,
dumb as fuck."
No, it was really dumb, but it was just like, it was one of those dumbs. I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. Like, you know, you're smiling while watching it. I'm like, I love vampires, like guilty pleasure, and then like anytime that you're in like a community, kind of like in the Heights, I don't know, like when you're in like a community where
watching that this week with my little sister.
I'm watching that this weekend as well with my little sister, so eat it. I got a copy.
I'm like, I don't want to watch it in theaters because I'm like, I watch it on HBO Max, but she's like, I want to see it in theaters. I'm like, I can watch it for free though.
So obviously, just for some quick, Vampires Bronx, just okay. But in the Heights, we're gonna be watching that, so we'll talk about the next episode. But it
just bothers me because I can watch it for free, so like I don't really want to pay money to watch it.
I bought tickets to go watch in theaters. And then I didn't know it was HBO or Warner Brothers production. So then I saw it was coming on HBO Max, and I just canceled my tickets. I was like, you know what?
Yeah, I'm totally just gonna pick my sister up and be like, yeah. She'll be like, we're gonna go see it. I'm like, no, we're gonna watch it at home. I have surround sound. We don't need to go in theaters.
I mean, no, that's fair.
4K Dolby Atmos. This is I don't need to go to theaters.
Yeah, this is one of those films that, like, look, I get it. I really do. I you know me. I'm very, like, whenever I talk about the theater experience, I'm like, we should go see it in theaters. But like after the pandemic and like being a year without theaters, like, I think I can just watch it at home, bro.
Here's my issue: is my sister likes singing to musicals, and I can't go into a movie theater with her trying to sing those fucking songs. I can't do it. She'll think she knows it and she doesn't, and I'm just like, no. Also,
my issue is that, like, if you're I'm lazy, so if you're gonna give me the option to watch it at home for free rather than pay $20 and drive my ass to a theater, I'm gonna watch it at home for free.
Did you watch Mortal Kombat in theaters?
I think I did, yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was totally like, that's an at-home movie,
did
bro.
I? See, that's how bad it is. I don't even remember if I did or not.
I was like, that's an at-home movie, bro. Like, I don't like leaving
the
house to watch Mortal Kombat.
I think I did go see it in theaters because I want...
You're a theater bitch.
Honestly, I am a theater bitch. That didn't bother me that much. I think I would have rather watched it in theaters. I mean, even it being what it was, I just...
Oh, no, I was perfectly content watching it at home. I was able to sit there and go, what the fuck is that?
Something about this movie, I just feel like I could watch it at home and be fine. I definitely...
it was like a little bit above Monster Hunter for me, where I was just like, what?
Alright, but me and you had so much fun at Monster Hunter, though. Like, come on now.
It's because we had watched Alien, where it was all quiet and tense, and we watched Monster Hunter, and they were all taking it serious, and we're just like...
Was that like our third film of the night?
Yeah, it was our last movie.
We were the third film, like, out of our minds. Like, we're like, oh my god, we've been in theater for 6 hours of this... it was like 4 hours at this point.
We watched Wonder Woman 1984, and then
Aliens, and then this one, we're like, fuck, and we're like, we get in there, and we're like...
They thought it was so serious! It was so bad! They're like... The beginning of, dude, I can't even get through the beginning of the film like talking about it because I'm like, they just drive up and their sniper's just out there in the middle of the road. They're like, yeah, it's 40 clicks up. I'm like, how the fuck did you get here? Like,
Yeah, just in the middle of the road. And then, bro, that movie is fucking
so bad.
I know. Anyways, so what films did you watch throughout the week?
I watched a lot of Best Picture winners, actually.
Ooh, fun stuff.
We watched 1968's Oliver.
Okay.
1947's version, way better. And there's no singing in that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain was connecting Oliver to 1964 and 1947. And I'm like...
Oliver
what?
Twist, the classic Charles Dickens story.
I don't even know what it's about.
They added like 40 minutes of runtime just because of singing. And I'm just like...
Oh, yeah, I'm not okay with that.
Fuck. For some reason, in the 60s, they loved musicals. I don't get it.
Is that when The Sound of Music came out?
Sound of Music, West Side Story, Oliver, all Best Picture winners.
Like, we're gonna make music this week. Music.
Dude, I was like... It was really funny because I just got my surround sound systems hooked up, my new ones. And Skylar was sitting there and he's like, I hate this because every time they sing, it comes out of the speaker right behind my ear.
You're like...
But no, it was okay. I mean, it's just about Oliver Twist. Goes live with these morgue people after getting kicked out of the orphanage. Runs away from there. Joins a band of street thieves and pickpockets. Gets picked up by this old man after getting blamed for stealing the dude's shit. And then getting kidnapped again by the street band. And then getting rescued. Like, it's 2.5 hours. It's that. Just
all right.
With a bunch of singing. Like, a ton of fucking singing.
All right.
And it was okay. I mean, I like it. It's not bad. I would prefer to watch the 1947 David Lean version. But that's just me. I like that version. So all of you
out there, if you ever want to watch Oliver, remember, watch the older one, 1947.
I enjoyed it more. Then we watched Midnight Cowboy, which is the 1969 Best Picture winner.
Ooh la la.
That movie's fucking weird. I don't like it.
Midnight Cowboy?
Midnight Cowboy. It's the one with the classic scene. I'm walking here. Like slams a taxi.
Oh wait, that's a movie? I thought it was just like
no, that's from Midnight Cowboy.
Oh, I thought it was just like something.
Because I guess they couldn't afford to like get streets blocked off for filming, so they were just filming during like the day on the street. And,
wow!
You were walking across the street, and the taxi cab almost hit Dustin Hoffman until he like stayed in character and was like,
"Oh,
hey, I'm walking here."
I do remember that. Okay, yeah.
And God, I'm so conflicted because there were so many scenes where I was like, "This is really good," and then the next scene I'd be like, "And it's bad again. I don't like this."
Interesting,
because it's about this guy from Texas that goes to New York to be a male prostitute, essentially.
Okay.
Because he's like, there's rich women in New York who want men like me. And he's got this really bad Southern accent. It's so bad.
I got a Southern accent.
And he ends up, like, befriending a con man. Though there's this really funny scene, right? So he tells the con man, he's played by Dustin Hoffman, his name is Ratso. And, well, it's Rizzo, but he goes by Ratso.
Okay.
Anyway, so he tricks the dude. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll get you a pimp. Let's go." He drinks in this dude, and he gets in there, and the guy's talking to him like, "You ready to get on your knees?" And the guy's like, "I'm ready." Like he's getting all hyped, and then he opens the closet, like the bathroom door, and it's just a fucking Jesus shrine.
Oh my god!
And he's like, "The fuck is this?" And Skylar and I lost our shit. We were laughing so hard.
That actually sounds really funny.
Because he's like, "You ready to get on my knee? Get on your knees?" The guy's like, "Oh, I'm ready. I'm so excited." He's like, "I'm gonna make you work. Yeah, let's go." Because he thinks he's about to be pimped out to women, and he's like, "Don't sit up in this Jesus shrine." And the guy gets on the knees and starts praying, and he's like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here."
Oh my god!
Anyway, you see these two guys struggle in New York during like the winter, but they have no heat. They're making no money. The guy does a lot of gay acts, which I mean, you gotta think about the time. It's 1969. It wasn't a liked thing to see a guy give another guy a blowjob in a movie theater in a movie, because it's like back then.
Yeah,
people were homophobic as hell.
Yeah,
so it got slammed a lot for me, like all the like homosexual acts.
Okay,
and just being very risque in nature.
Yeah,
but it was I don't know. The ending was good, but I was just like a flip flop. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is really good." And the next thing I'd be like, and it's bad. Fuck.
And it's not good.
But yeah, the friendship between Ratso and the dude is just amazing. Like it was so believable, and the ending is so sad.
Oh wow.
And then I'm taking a break from movie watching, by the way, if you're listening. Like I'm burned out, so I'm taking a break. But anyway, we watched Patton, which is the 1970 Best Picture winner.
You say a film, and I'm like, wait, isn't that about the bear? Oh, that's Paddington.
Yeah, this one's about this one's about the World War II general. I did not like this. It's like a 3-hour-long biographical film about General Patton, and I was not in the mood for a biographical film about General Patton when we watched this, so I was watching it for 2.5, like, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes long or something like that, and I was like, I don't
You sat through a
fucking
2 hour,
care.
40-minute long film of some random World War II veteran.
He was a general.
Sure.
And a very, very good general. But anyway, this movie, like, what makes it interesting is the guy who plays him. Like, I can't remember his fucking name right now. I just know he has like a really cool thing with the Oscars, because George C. Scott is one of only like 3 actors ever to decline an Academy Award, because he said the Oscars were a joke and didn't mean shit. And then when this movie came out, the Academy was like, oh, we gotta give it to him, but he doesn't fucking want it. So they gave it to him, and he didn't even show up. He was like, I don't want it.
I think at one point they were a joke. Like, they had like a certain number of members, and it was like,
It's not even that. Like, they've been around forever, right?
Oh,
but he's like, it's a joke. It's stupid. It doesn't mean shit.
He's like, nah, I'm good.
And yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it. I wasn't in the mood for it. It's too long. Up to the next one. I watched the new Conjuring film.
Ah, yes. How was that?
Compared to the other 2 Conjuring films. Okay, so let me explain the Conjuring franchise to you, okay? First Conjuring film, okay. Second Conjuring film, better than the first. Annabelle, sucks ass. Horrible. Annabelle Creation, not very good, but it's watchable.
Okay.
Annabelle Comes Home, it's just a fucking Conjuring film. Like, it's an Annabelle film in the Warren's house. Like, whatever, fuck it. It's Annabelle. I don't like Annabelle. The Nun, hated. Nun's horrible. Chris La Llorona, they didn't even market it as a Conjuring film, so nobody knew it was a Conjuring film, so it bombed at the box office. Was
it good or no?
No.
Okay.
It scared a lot of Hispanic people, because it's like it's a Hispanic folktale, so a lot of like Hispanic people were like, I ain't watching that shit. I don't fuck with La Llorona.
Okay.
Like, even my sous chef, because he's Hispanic, like, we were talking about The Conjuring, and he was like, I don't fuck with La Llorona. Like, I won't watch that movie. Like,
all right.
And like, growing up, like, I'm in a Hispanic household, like, I get it, but I never heard about her, so I was like, all right, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, that was, yeah. The Nun, I hated The Nun. My wife really liked The Nun. I didn't like The Nun. I thought The Nun was terrible. Conjuring 3.
So you're telling me that literally the entire Conjuring franchise
is a hit or miss. Like,
only one you said was okay. Like, the rest of you said
they're worth watching, but they're not scary to me. Like, they're horror films, but not really to me.
Okay.
Like, they're good paranormal films, but like, they're only good to a point. Like, it's jump scares. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
And like, to me, jump scares are cheap horror.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like the Conjuring films. Like, they're something I'd watch, but they're not something I'd be like, this is A-tier horror. This is a movie where it comes out, you go watch it, and you just have a fun time, and then you don't think about it again.
That's fair. So the Conjuring 3, yes, no.
The Conjuring films were always like a haunted house setup.
Okay.
This one is not. Instead, it follows the Warrens trying to prove that a man was possessed by a demon.
So they had to prove, okay.
And this is a real thing that happened. A guy actually pled in court, said the demon possessed him and forced him to kill people. And it's like about a woman who does who's like a Satanist.
Right.
And she like places these cursed objects under people's like houses and shit and curses them to be possessed by a demon and makes them kill someone.
Wow.
But it just didn't feel like a horror film to me. It just felt weird. And like, I don't like it. Like, it's a Conjuring film, but like, I don't like it.
Wow.
Like, I think, yeah, I gave it 3.5 stars because it's better than the other ones. And I had a fun time watching it, especially with my surround sound, because there's like one point where like a door creaks and I thought it was coming from my bedroom. And I was like, oh shit. Like,
oh crap. That's funny.
But it was, I liked it, but it's not something I rewatch. Like, it's a good one-time watch, and I enjoyed watching it to a point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, it was really good for a Conjuring film, so I got 3.5 stars, but as a horror movie, I wouldn't rate it that high. Like, for a movie in the Conjuring universe, it's pretty high rated. Which 3.5 stars is actually the highest I've rated a Conjuring film other than Conjuring 2, so,
Huh, okay.
But, yeah, so that was okay. And then I watched the new Bo Burnham's comedy special, too.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get quarantined for the pandemic. Were you quarantined for the pandemic?
No.
Okay, so yeah, the humor doesn't hit.
Exact opposite,
I'm
honestly.
like, it's impressive to me that he like was stuck in his house, right? So he made a comedy special, and you see like the deterioration of Bo Burnham as he's like stuck in his house making his own shit.
Right.
My only issue is he very makes it known that what you're watching is what he wants you to watch.
Right.
Like, you see him break down in tears. You see. But it leaves me wondering, like, how much of this is, like, actually what he went through and how much is just
comedy show
for the special.
Yeah.
And then that, like, some of the songs, bops. Like, some of them are really fucking good. But the whole thing is just a song.
Yeah, see, and honestly, I don't know. I don't vibe with that,
Yeah, no, like, I was like, this isn't funny. This is depressing. Like, this is a borderline horror film. Like,
yeah, I tried watching it, and I just was not into it.
Yeah, because I was watching it and I was like, it's
Like,
funny, but it's not funny. Like,
to me, the concept was good as like a 5-minute YouTube video, not a hour-ish
comedy special.
Was it hour and a half or hour?
It's an hour.
An hour-long comedy special. An hour special, you know? I'm just like I thought it was an actual like stand-up comedy. I'm like, oh, dope. And then it wasn't. It was just this. And I'm like, look, bro, like I get it. I respect you for the drive and filming your own thing.
Yeah, like that's why I gave it 3.5 stars. I had a 4 stars originally, and I just like I sat with it for a couple days, and I was like, I can't give it 4 stars. Like,
yeah,
I couldn't give it that high of a rating. So I was like, I sat with it, and I was like, maybe I would like it more if I was quarantined, or like I went through like being alone or something. Like I had to work. I work in a medical facility. Like I had to work the whole pandemic. I never had to be stuck in a house. I never had to be isolated. Like. I don't get whatever. Like I get why everyone's giving this a high rating. They're like, I get it. It speaks to me and what I went through, and I'm like, I didn't go through it. I don't find it funny. I don't get the humor.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just it's a thing. It's a watch. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't like the whole like sing. I know that's his thing. I just didn't care for it. But
normally he talks in between the songs, and this one he did, but not like.
Yeah, exactly. Because it seemed like a few like
there was like a couple scenes where he talked, but most of it was just one song leading to another, and I was like,
yeah,
all right, whatever. And then I watched the 1971 Best Picture winner.
Oh wow,
The French Connection.
Oh yeah, you did tell me about this. I forgot what you said about it, but
I know you didn't want to see it, and you're probably lucky because like, it was okay at best. Like I don't even remember what it's about. Like that's how much I cared. Like honestly, I could not tell you a thing that happened other than it's about drugs.
I feel like mostly it's just like I don't know how to explain it. Like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like why the older like especially older films. I'm just like It's because like why I'd rather watch Vampires versus the Bronx versus like. I think honestly, and this is my just pure preference. I think it's just like the way stuff is filmed like that. It's just prettier.
Yeah,
stuff
dude.
is
Okay,
filmed nowadays,
so
but
this is literally what my review says. I said the final gunfight, best fucking part of the movie.
Oh wow!
And I said this gunfight with my sound system and shit sounded dope as fuck, and it was gritty.
Right.
So it was like brutal. The rest of the film didn't feel like that. So I just like I give it 3 stars. So it's like it's a movie.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but then again, what 3 stars? So it's just average.
It's average. Yeah, it's like it's a movie where I'm like I don't know why it's so highly rated because I was bored through most of it because I was like do something. That's like I wanted to poke it with a stick and be like, come on, do something.
Yeah,
be interesting. Come on.
See, and I wonder if people can like invest themselves in movies or like. You said you're pretty good at this. Is like
you have literally 30 minutes of the movie to like drag me in before I just sit there and just like blankly stare at it.
But like you view movies within the time period when they came out. You know
this one. Okay, so the problem with this one is the year after this, The Godfather came out, and so I look at it like you're telling me that this won Best Picture, but the next year was actually a really good gangster film.
Or watching Godfather next.
Next week's The Departed, which is by Martin Scorsese, which is another gangster film, and then the week after that, we watched The Godfather, which is...
I might have to come back to that one, so...
Yeah, because we're watching The Godfather, and then or Departed, The Godfather, and then we go back. I think it's Crash next, which is whatever. Not the Crash with the sex, cars and stuff. It's a different Crash. And then the following one, I think it's... God, I want to say Annie Hall, but I don't actually know off the top of my head.
Huh.
And the 2 older movies from now is Godfather Part 2. So we're going to be watching Godfather and Godfather Part 2. And I might just say, fucking, let's watch Godfather Part 3 because we're already going to be 2 films in. Yeah. Might as well. It's going to be like Lord of the Rings. Like when we get to Return of the King, like I'm just going to be like, guys, I just want to watch all the Lord of the Rings films since we just like, it's kind of weird just to watch the 3rd one.
Yep, exactly.
Like we might as well just watch them all.
That's funny.
But yeah, The French Connection, I didn't fuck with it. I was like, whatever. It's a movie.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And then last night, I watched...
Oh, yeah.
It's Such a Beautiful Day, which came out in like 2012.
All right. Yeah, you had me watch a...
This is a mindfuck movie.
Yeah, I was not... when you explained it as like stick figures on like, but also with some realism, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. And you showed me a trailer, and I'm like, it's weird because like you don't. It's honestly, it's kind of hypnotizing. It's.
I could not tell you what it meant. I could not tell you what it was trying to tell you, what it was trying to teach you, because I didn't look shit up. I finished the movie and I was like, I have no clue.
But it wasn't bad either.
No, it's like weird. It's super good. Like,
I didn't watch it. I just watched a clip of it.
Like it's funny at times. It's weird at times, and it blows your fucking mind. Right. The only issue is you can't fucking buy it. You can only rent it digitally or buy it digitally. and I don't buy things digitally, so I rented it for $5.
Yep,
Which, I mean, for an hour, $5 for an hour of just like, what the hell? Worth it. 100% worth it.
Yeah.
My wife wants to watch it again. I'm like, we got it for another 24 hours or another 48 hours. Go ahead. You want to watch it? Do it your own. I ain't watching it again.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was, I think I give it 5 stars, and I don't give 5 stars very often. I have like 18,000 or 1,800 movies on my letterbox I've rated.
Right.
I have 44 5-star reviews out of that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, well, that's what this should be though. Like,
yeah,
on
it's like that's a rare thing to get a 5-star movie.
Yeah.
And when I'm left just sitting here, both like sad, confused, just like I invested in the stick figure's journey of like mental illness, confusion, like. What the hell?
Yeah,
like,
what the hell?
I left the movie going like, what the hell did I just watch, and why is it so good?
Yeah, exactly. It reminds me of the splotch color thing you watched. With Stravesky.
I mean, the trailer makes it more confusing than it actually is, because it's very
not like that. Not in that specific reason, but like in the reason that like people would watch it and be like, "This is amazing," but like, and some people will watch it and be like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like,
yeah, because I left it like I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah.
But I was so invested in what happened, but I don't have a clue what I watched. Like, I don't know what it was trying to tell me. The ending, I was like confused as hell.
It's like,
and then to know this was released in 3 parts on YouTube for 20 minutes long parts, and now it's not even available on YouTube.
Yeah,
the guy took it off to make money because he knows it's that fucking good.
It's weird, bro. Weird.
It is like on Letterboxd's top 250 is like number 72.
Huh. Weird.
Like, that's impressive as hell for a dude that just made stick figure animation.
It is. It really is. Though.
Like.
He knew what he was doing.
Like, what?
Is there any other films that you watched throughout the week you want to talk about, or is that?
No, that's it. Best Picture winners and Such a Beautiful Day.
Beautiful. Awesome, man. Well, there's some good stuff you watched that week.
Yeah, it's weird because now I'm like, I reached by 300 in the Criterion Collection, so I'm like, I'm taking a break. It's like, I'm taking like a week off of like grinding movies.
That's good.
I'm still going to try to watch a movie a day, but I'm not like, you gotta watch like over 30 movies this week. Let's go. I'm like, I'm just gonna relax and take it easy, and
yeah, because
I ended up like, got to the point where I was putting movies in and just not looking at the movies because I just was like, gotta get through it, and I don't care what it's about.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
So
see
I was
that.
like,
see, I watch like, I don't know, I don't watch too much often. Mostly just because I don't know. I don't know why I don't watch movies much. I think honestly, I just like watching movies with people, not because I need somebody.
You can talk to it. You can bounce it off. That's why I watch like really good movies, and I'll be like, no one else will watch it because it's in fucking German or something.
Right.
Like, it'll be like a movie that has me crying, and I'm like, I can never talk to another person about this because no one else is gonna watch it.
Right. Exactly. And that's kind of my thing. Exactly. It's like, and that's why I like going to the theater mostly is because like and it doesn't always have to be somebody, but
good conversations you can have.
Yeah.
Well, people are like, what'd you watch? I'm like, I watched Story of a Prostitute. They're like, what's it about? Well, about a prostitute.
Exactly. It's funny. Well, I mean, but still, I mean, there's still movies to watch that are good besides that. But
yeah,
so
you know what's weird about my Best Picture watch though?
What?
It's because we stopped because we had the COVID pandemic started, so we took a couple weeks off of that. I had to move, took a couple weeks off. We have like parties every once in a while or game nights, and
right.
We were supposed to be on Gladiator on Monday.
Huh.
We're supposed to have 20 movies left to watch.
We're probably not even...
And everyone complained about watching the old movies, so we jumped back and forth, and now we're on 1972.
That wasn't everybody. That was me. I think
that wasn't even you, because it was like Hannah, Jacob.
Was it really?
The only person that...
All I know, though, is we were watching like in an order, and then when I came in, I suggested that we do it the other way, and you're like, yeah, okay, let's do it.
Because everyone else was like, oh, we're getting bored of watching the 1940s films, and then Skylar and I are just like, if we watch them, we get it over with. Like,
right, that's fair.
And now we're like 1972 and 2005 or 2006, and I'm like, we could be on 2000 right now if you guys didn't pitch.
Yeah, that's fair.
We could already be a Gladiator, you guys. We could have 20 movies left, and they're all modern. But now you have the 80s or you have the 70s, the 80s, 90s. That's it. You got 3 decades, and they're all old. This is your guy. You guys didn't watch the old films. Now that's all we got left. Ha.
That's beautiful.
Although the 90s. I actually think everyone's going to be showing up for that because that's where you got like Forrest Gump, Schindler's List, like
yeah, I mean, I'll definitely have to cover those.
Braveheart, like you got movies people are actually like, oh, that's a really good movie, and I'm like, oh, so now you're gonna show up, huh?
Yes, yes.
Looking at like Hannah and Jacob, they're like, because Jacob's like, oh, I really want to watch No Country for Old Men, and I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be you, and we get to like Gladiator, Braveheart, Forrest Gump, you're you're gonna be like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be a really good movie. I'm like, we could have already fucking watched it.
That's funny. That's funny.
But you know, it is what it is. We're getting through it. Skylar and I are like watching the older ones without people because we're just like nobody cares, so we're just getting through it.
Yeah.
We know that people care about The Godfather.
Yeah.
We know people care about like Forrest Gump, obviously. But like some of these where I'm like, nobody's ever heard of this movie, so like nobody cares. Like Driving Miss Daisy. Have you heard of Driving Miss Daisy?
It sounds familiar.
The only thing that I know about it has Morgan Freeman in it.
Yeah,
that's another interesting thing is because like we've watched these from 1927. We've had Clark Gable in movies. We've watched fucking Gone with the Wind, and now we're watching movies with like Jack Nicholson, Morgan Freeman. Like we're getting to people that people know.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
It's like we've gone from an era where everyone's dead, where you watch a movie and you're like every single person in this movie is dead, to where these are people are watching movies from today. Like,
exactly.
These are directors that are around today. Like it's a journey through time.
Yep, I definitely agree.
And I'm so happy we only got like 30 movies left. I could be done with it if I'd had to watch them, but it's just me.
That's fair, but then you have...
I had the experience with Skylar at least, where he and I have seen every Best Picture winner together.
Yeah, that dude's dedicated, bro. I don't care that much. Just for that, bro.
And here's the thing though, is because like we're starting to get to movies where I've seen already, like $1 Million Baby, stuff like that, where I'm like, I've seen it, I know it's good, I don't really want to watch it again, but Skylar hasn't seen it, so I'll watch it again for Skylar.
That's fair. That's pretty cool.
Because I'm like, I've seen The Godfather.
I
don't want to watch that's a 3-hour long movie. Like I don't want to watch The Godfather again, but I'm like, everyone else hasn't seen The Godfather, so I'm like,
right.
I want them to have the same experience watching it that I did, where I was like, okay, all right, that's pretty good.
Exactly. That's pretty cool.
And I haven't seen Godfather Part 2, so I'm like, I'll be able to watch that finally. I have 2 versions of Godfather Part 3. I don't know, like we're gonna watch the actual theatrical version.
Yeah.
But we had the Codex version that came out earlier this year, which is like Francis Ford Coppola went through and actually like redid Godfather 3.
Oh wow.
Because Godfather 3 bombed at the box office. So, or it didn't bomb. It had a lot of negative reviews.
Yeah, I heard that too.
But yeah, we're slowly getting through the watch, and I don't know what we're gonna watch afterwards. We're thinking about watching the worst movies ever. That got what are they? What are they called? That award show where they get like the bad award show.
Oh, the Razzies.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing those.
That's fucking hilarious. I don't know about that, man. That sounds horrible. That's like a Friday night get drunk type of deal.
Like Jacob was like, "Why would I want to purposely watch bad movies?"
Bro,
I was like, "Why wouldn't you?"
I could not do that sober. We would have to find some schedule thing to be like on a Friday or somewhere where we can all like get drunk and then like have the next day off, because there's no way that I would be able to go to a Monday night and be like, I don't want to watch the big pictures normally sometimes, so I'm just like, I'm not gonna watch I'm not gonna watch.
You don't want to watch
the Cats? Oh well,
Cats one too. We can watch. We're gonna watch that again. I'm really considering this though, because everyone was like, "Oh, The Room," and I was like, "The Room wasn't even nominated for a Razzie," so
Wow. Well, and
then Joe's like, "They get worse," and I was like, "Oh, buddy, there's someone here with a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes." Like,
well, speaking of featuring things, usually every week we have a category called Filmverse Feature, where we watch a movie and we want the other person to see. But while since Loki comes out on Wednesdays, we're gonna keep that on hiatus for now.
We usually record our podcast on Wednesdays, so behind the scenes, a lot. So we're watching Loki together,
exactly,
and we're just like, that's a lot of things to watch in one night.
Exactly. I'll be honest with you, I might be watching Loki twice because I don't know something about.
You like Marvel. I like Marvel, but I like watching things once until it all comes out, and then I like rewatching it all in a binge.
Yeah, that's fair. But, no, I can't. I don't know what it is about. Like, I just can't wait a whole day, sit there a whole day knowing it exists.
You're like, I gotta avoid a whole day of spoilers. Meanwhile,
yeah, dude,
I'm like,
I can't. Like,
I'm gonna play video games for a whole day.
Well,
and not
you have the day off.
Anything.
Yeah, you have the day off, and it's hard. It's not that matters a whole deal, but I just know that, like, if I usually like for a Marvel movie that's coming out, I'll go Thursday night. So that way Thursday, Thursday
I always do that. I always request. I'm always like, I need that Friday off, or I need to work a night shift because I'm going to a midnight showing.
Yep.
And I'm going to be one of the first people to see that movie because I ain't getting spoiled.
Exactly.
Because I couldn't go to the midnight thing of like Infinity War.
Right.
And I spoiled the movie myself to avoid spoilers. I was like, fuck it, I'm reading it. I don't care.
I'll do it myself. It's my choice.
I was like, I'm not going to have like my friend come in and be like, oh yeah, so in Infinity War, I'm like, fuck that. If I'm going to be told about it, I'm already going to fucking know.
Exactly. But my whole point for bringing all that up is that I don't know if you got a chance to do this. might have told you not to do this or not, but maybe if you can come up off the top of the head, we're gonna have a new segment called Mitchell's Homework, because I don't watch that many movies that often, right?
Yes.
And I have an issue of not watching a lot of movies throughout the week, and so sometimes I don't have a lot to talk about. So I'm gonna have you choose a movie for me that
I haven't done homework on this.
that's okay, but I'm sure you can think of something while we're talking here. Or
I will
honestly, actually, you don't have to. I'll let you figure it out, and you can text me later.
Because I totally forgot you asked me to do this, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta forget South. Fuck.
And we'll post something on Instagram within the next few days here. Well, actually, by the time you see, it'll be already on Instagram by the time you hear this. So, but we're gonna be doing a Mitchell's Homework, which is something I need to watch, like a popular movie or something like that. More of like a critically acclaimed film. Something that I haven't watched yet, which is quite a lot. And I'll talk about whether I liked it or not. So yeah, we'll get to that next week. But otherwise,
and then we also have since we're not doing it every week, Criterion releases a new movie.
Oh,
and
right.
Since I buy those every week, I'm gonna try to watch it before the podcast and tell you all about that.
Yeah,
that way we still have something there for the Filmverse feature. So.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys for joining us as we talk a slew of movie news, Loki, and various bits of content we watch throughout the week. New episodes come out every Tuesday, so be sure to follow us and turn on those little notification bells to get updates every time we post. If you want to keep up with our activities outside the airwaves, you can stalk us on Instagram at Into the Filmverse Podcast. Bryce, where can people follow you and your wonderful adventures online?
You can find me on Letterboxd at Payne Reviews, Payne Reviews, Instagram at Payne Loves Cinema, and Twitter at Sanguine Films.
Beautiful. And
I got it this time. High five.
Did. That was a high five. I was doing like the little bop it thing with like, when you watch like a sing along, like doo 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 doo. And you can stay connected with me, Mytchel Chandler, by simply following me on Facebook and Instagram, author Mytchel Chandler, on Twitter at Mytchel Chandler, and on Letterboxd at Mitch Reviews. And remember, my name is spelled differently. It's Mytch.
I got your first Mitchell's Homework.
What's that?
Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee.
All right, I like that. I'm excited for that. So
it's super good.
Yeah, no, we've talked about that, and that's definitely something I want to see. So.
I think it's one of Spike Lee's first films, and it is amazing. And since you're all about equality and stuff, it seems like a good watch for you. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Well, I'm excited to see that. And I just said I was literally about to pre my you can say to me thing. Well, that is all for this week, our fellow cinephiles, and until next time,
Excelsior!